Boom! Your Blue Shield PPO individual and family rate through Covered California just exploded on you for 2023. Why? Hi, I'm Kevin Knaus with InsureMeKevin.com, and I've had several clients and other people contact me to say, hey, why did my Blue Shield PPO rates, just kind of explode on me for 2023? And so I started kind of looking at some of the instances. In one household in Sonoma, they had a 30% increase for their premiums through Covered California for the Blue Shield PPO. Los Angeles, a 33% increase. San Diego County, 36%. Alameda County, over 128% increase in the rates for their Blue Shield PPO from 2022. So there are a couple different factors going on with the rates, especially through Covered California, that we need to understand and consider. First is your age. Every year you get a year older, and generally the rates also go up. Now, most of the carriers use kind of a universal formula, and under the Affordable Care Act, the rates for a 64-year-old can be no more than 3 times that of a 21-year-old. Now, it is not a straight line. It's kind of a weird kind of a climbing the mountain with some dips in it to get to that 300%. Then if you actually look at the percentage increase year over year, going from one age to the next, you can see that it's kind of flat in the early 20s, then it kind of spikes up in the late 20s. But really what happens that really people really get hit with is once you turn 47, 48, the rates really get up there every year. You will have an increase of between 4 and 4.5% to the overall rate. And all of the carriers pretty much use this formula to get there. And so you're just going to get, when you're in your late 40s and 50s, you're getting a 4% increase just because you've survived another year. So we have that to consider. Now, the carriers also apply a universal increase because of inflation. And when they do that, they apply that to all of the regions within a region and across all the different plans and all the different ages. So what I did is I specifically I did an analysis of the Blue Shield PPO Silver on Exchange, Silver 70 plan between 2022 and 2023. And I just used a 21-year-old because we know that the percentage increase is going to be the same through all of the ages. And so for Region 1, we see a 13% increase. And Region 1 is the Northern California counties. That's pretty large. And then as you go down, you can see the different regions, and there's 19 different rating regions in California. And that is to reflect the different hospitals and doctor networks that the carriers have to put together. And, sometimes some hospitals, they go up and the way the carriers contract with them. But you can see Blue Shield, kind of on average, about an 11% increase. Only 4% down in Santa Cruz. They actually went down by 3% in the Fresno area. Little over 12% in Los Angeles County, but overall about 11% increase, which was higher than some of the other carriers. But we also need to remember that the Blue Shield PPO plans is a fairly large network. They have doctors and hospitals that aren't in other health plans, specifically UCLA, UC San Francisco, UC Davis, and much of the Sutter network. And those are providers and hospitals that sometimes command a little bit higher reimbursement rate and that a lot of people want to see. So that gets reflected in their rates as well. But that's not the entire story. The bigger impact is the Covered California Affordable Care Act formula for determining the subsidy. And it all keys off of the second lowest cost silver plan. The Affordable Care Act and the subsidies are designed to make the second lowest cost silver plan within a certain percentage of your consumer household income. So doesn't make a difference what plan you choose, the subsidy is tied to that second lowest cost silver plan. So then I did an analysis of the second lowest cost silver plan in the different regions. I just used age 21 to see what the overall percentage change increase from 2022 to 2023 was. Now, interesting, in blue, region 1 and region 10, the second lowest cost silver plan is the Blue Shield PPO. And the increase reflects the full premium increase for the Blue Shield plans. And that means that people in the Blue Shield plans, they didn't have a big increase other than just the regular age and universal increase, but the subsidy kind of kept pace. So they're not going to feel a big, gut punch. But if we go down to region 2, the North Bay, the second lowest cost silver plan only went up 2.5%. But if the average increase for the Blue Shield was 11, and then maybe you're older, there's another 4% increase. So the subsidy is not keeping pace with the rate, the full rate for the Blue Shield PPO, and people feel it. The subsidy isn't as large, and their premiums increase larger between one year to the next. Region 7, which I think is Santa Clara County, second lowest cost silver plan actually went down by a fraction. So that really is going to hurt those people in that area. And we will see that in many regions if there is a new second lowest cost silver plan that is lower than the year before with their rates, everyone's subsidy shrinks a little bit, and that hurts. The little rate change that is in green, region 12, region 14, and region 19, that had a second lowest cost silver plan that increased, more than the Blue Shield PPO. So people are getting a relatively larger subsidy. And so they're not feeling the pinch of when they have a second lowest cost silver plan that didn't go up as fast as the Blue Shield PPO rate. So the final premium that you receive through Covered California, if it really, jumped up, doubled, it isn't necessarily because Blue Shield, PPO, or any of the other carriers had a tremendously huge rate increase for the year. It more than likely is because of the second lowest cost silver plan did not keep pace with your preferred carrier at your income, and assuming the income was very similar from 2022 to 2023. So a lot of different questions there, and it can get kind of confusing, but it isn't all Blue Shield's fault that you're experiencing a big premium increase through Covered California, and it is not necessarily the fault of any of the other carriers. It's just kind of the formula and the way the subsidies are determined. So if you have any questions or comments, you may leave them down below. I will do my best to answer them. So for Insure Me Kevin, I am Kevin Knaus.